Thank you. We have a quorum for the Land Clearance Redevelopment Authority for the City of St. Louis for its regularly scheduled meeting held on August 26, 2025 at 3 p.m. May we have a roll call, please?
Yes. Commissioner Evans,
Present.
Commissioner Canning is not present. Commissioner Spencer,
Present.
Commissioner Jones is not present, and Chair McBride,
Present.
you have a quorum with 3 present and 2 absent.
Thank you. We'll take up approval of the minutes for a meeting held on July 22, 2025. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Spencer.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. May we have a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Evans,
Aye.
Commissioner Spencer,
Aye.
and Chair McBride.
Aye.
Motion passes with all voting yes.
Thank you. All right, we will take up the first item on the agenda, Resolution 25 LCRA 10-945, and that relates to the resolution declaring the Tiffany Scattered Sites 2 area to be blighted. Zach, are you walking us through that?
Yeah, I'll walk in the initial part of the resolution, but thank you for having me today. This resolution is blighting and approving a redevelopment plan for 2.32 acres in the Tiffany neighborhood. It's a scatter site redevelopment plan, basically 21 buildings that will range from 1 to 3 bedrooms in the LITEC project. The redevelopment plan allows for up to 15 years of tax abatement, 10 at 90, followed by 5 at 50. I will let Paul take over and kind of go through the community scorecard, the financial scorecard, and introduce you to the development team that's here on the call. Okay.
All right, Paul.
Thanks, Zach. As Zach mentioned, if we could go back one slide just to recap. If you look at the context map, it's in the Tiffany neighborhood. You can kind of see it's just west of South Grand, kind of tucked behind Cardinal Glennon. So it gives you kind of an idea of where this project is. Scattered site, all within the same 3-4 square blocks. 60 affordable housing units in total. This is a rehab of an existing affordable housing development with multiple unit sizes ranging from 1 to 3 bedroom. We can go to the next slide, please. We can talk about the community benefits real quick. So this project scored a total of 80 points on the community benefits scorecard. It received, well, before we get into how it got its points, the 80 points makes it eligible for tier 3 level of benefits, which is up to 25 years, 10 years at 90 and 15 years at 50. Since this is a LITEC project, we're recommending an abatement term that aligns with that LITEC, so 10 years at 90 and 5 years at 50. So it received 40 points for all of the units being affordable at 60% AMI. The area, all the parcels are located within Economic Justice Index Area 2. They're within a quarter mile of a 70 bus stop, which is the Grand Line, which is the most used bus line in Metro's network. All of the structures are at least over 50 years old. Most of them are pushing 100 years old at this point. Received 4 points for the total capital investment, just over $15 million. And this project will be making use of LITEC, which gave it an additional 2 points.
All right. Any questions for Paul on the community benefit scorecard from the commissioners? Thank you, Paul. Let's proceed over to the financial impact.
Again, it's 60 units, all of them are affordable. You could see on the developer return analysis, market average rate of return is 7% on the low end, 9% on the high end. This project, without incentives is 6.2% return that we're projecting. With incentives would be 6.4%. So it's below the low end of the market average, which is not unusual for an affordable housing development. Again, we modeled 15 years total of tax payment, 10 years at 90, 5 years at 50%. You can see the positive revenue impact for the school district. The net present value of the incentive at 10 years is just over $52,000, which is only about 0.3% of total project costs. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them now, or I can turn it over to, I think we have the representative from the development team on the call with us.
Sure, just one moment, Paul. Yeah, any questions? I see Commissioner Evans' hand up.
Hi there. Thanks for this information. On the projected revenues chart,
Mhm.
the existing city taxes is blue, and then there's a thinner projected city taxes. Where is the existing? Mm,
The existing one is the gray
It's-
line.
Yeah, it's there. It looks like it's kind of mislabeled. I think I've
The
noticed that before as well. We can tweak the graphic so it could be more clear, but it's sort of along the bottom there.
Okay, and then the light yellow on top of that, and then the lines at the top are the projected, right?
correct.
Yeah, so and it's I think we talked about this last month as well, as maybe trying to make this chart a little bit more clear, and so that's on me for not doing that. But yeah, the thicker area is projected revenues. Essentially, if there were no project, what the school district or the city would continue to receive over time, right? And then the thinner lines are if we have a project and it receives the level of abatement that we're modeling, this is what we would project the revenues at.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
And rather than looking at just this graph, which let's put that as a priority to
Yeah.
recolor, please. Then, I mean, we're talking about what for impacts to the city itself over 10 years to be over $250,000 at 235,460. Is that right?
Well, that would be the net revenue. Yes. We try, and the graph is showing the new revenue. So, projected revenue, if the development happens as we've modeled it, minus the, revenue that we're currently getting, projected, modest growth over the next 10, 15 years, just to keep up with inflation, essentially. So the graph is showing the new revenue to the city, new revenue to the school district.
The
not just
the 171.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if we could, because right now that graph's not helping advance the cause. So
Sure.
let's sort that out.
Yeah.
Commissioner Spencer.
Yeah, I'm just seeing this for the first time, so I apologize. I don't think it was in the packet, right?
It was not. I was going to address that at the end once you completed your questioning, though.
Just a couple things. One, just to know a little bit more about this development. It's 60 units, scattered sites, multiple buildings. Was it already tax abated for the previous project was affordable? And what were those taxes updated to current rates and now we're abating it going forward, or were they abated and we're abating it again?
I don't have the history of the site. I know that it is currently not receiving abatement.
Okay, so that's probably been assessed already, and that's the graph looks great, but just wanted some clarity on that. And then the Tiffany area is a historic district, so I'm wondering why they may not be using those credits, and wondering if this is a 4% or 9% LIHTC project, and do they have a award already?
I will defer to the developer um, on those questions.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. And then, yeah, Paul, just following up on Commissioner Spencer's observation, if we could have these graphs in our packet, it gives us a little bit
Sure.
better opportunity to review.
Yeah. Understood.
Very good. And so let's see, who do we have on the line as our developers for this project?
You have Terrell Davis and Yafet Elamine.
All right.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Also, would you two give us a little more context to the presentation from the staff, please?
Thank you, Mr. McBride, for giving us an opportunity to speak about this development. The Tiffany Place development is a 60 unit HUD HAP development in the Tiffany neighborhood. It currently is the only remaining affordable housing development in this area, which makes it a gem for this community as well as the people who live in this development. We acquired this development from a out-of-town developer and tried to resyndicate it starting 2 years ago, but were successful with receiving MHDC 9% low-income housing tax credit dollars last year, and we are working to redevelop it. Unfortunately, because of under management, if you will, and an absentee developer, many of these homes sustained major dilapidation and challenges for the residents there, where more than 2/3 of the residents moved out of this housing. Because this is an area now, a growing community with major amenities, a very great school in the community, as well as the new hospital, the SSM hospital right down the street, as well as many other amenities, a new Target, as the representative mentioned earlier, close to a bus stop. We believe that this is a model community for mixed use. And so this low-income housing development, as many of the units there are 4-family, 6-family flats, blends in well with this community and makes it a model community for low-income people to be mixed in with a higher income community. So we are hoping that the tax abatement would allow for us to help with our modest operational costs. In addition to fixing up the homes here, we do have a nonprofit community-based partner, development partner, that would also be providing wraparound services, mental health, educational, as well as employment services for the residents who live here, helping to increase their quality of life and their overall well-being. So we're hoping that the tax abatement, would be granted to allow for us to offset some of our operational expenses moving forward.
Right. And do you have any other incentives from the city in this project?
We do not. It is fully funded with low-income housing tax credits and the public-private partnership as far as our equity investors with the sale of the credits.
Very good. Thank you. Mr. Davis, did you have anything to add?
Yes. Thank you all for hearing us today. I just want to piggyback a little bit on Yafet's comment regarding the operations of the property. Just by the nature of it, as you can see, it being scattered, really challenging to manage from an operational standpoint. You just incur additional costs. On top of us trying to improve what we're doing there in terms of the services we're offering our residents, as well as beefing up the maintenance staff there, management staff there, just to make sure we're more efficient and can address concerns readily. So I just kind of want to highlight that point in terms of how that abatement would benefit us overall.
Thank you. Any questions for the commissioners for the developers? Commissioner Evans?
I was wondering if you have a LOI or a commitment from a tax credit investor? To sell the tax credits?
Yes,
And who's the investor?
Enterprise Community Partners.
Okay. And then this is probably a question for Zach or others, but I'm looking at the resolution and it says approving a blighting study. Is that part of the packet?
No, it's not, but we can provide that to you.
Has it been circulated?
Circulate to the board or circulate? No, it has not. Yeah, we can include that with you. This is might be the first blighting study redevelopment plan you've seen. Most of the ones resolutions you've seen before us are designated developer, so I will include that packet to you so you see what you're voting on.
Well, we know what you're voting, and the blighting study is if you would just give the overview of what that blighting study addresses and looks like, that might be helpful, Zach.
Yes, it's pictures showing the current conditions of the property and how it meets the blighting meets the state statute of what's required. So I will send you that over right away. Okay.
Any other questions from the commissioners? Ms. Elamine, you stated that 2/3 of the occupants moved out. So is that I'm trying to follow that statement. Was that for all across all the buildings or just for certain buildings, or what does that relate to when you say that?
Yeah, it relates to, if you heard me earlier, I spoke about the under management. So the repair that needs to occur. And then over time, if the property is not managed properly, people will leave. So it's our
No, I heard
desire.
that. I'm just trying to
Okay.
understand. Is that for all buildings or just because there's 21 buildings, correct?
Yes, that's all buildings, yes.
And did you acquire them all from the same manager?
The same owner, yes. They were all a part
Oh.
of a prior tax credit portfolio.
Okay. All right. And then I
It is
believe, go ahead. Go ahead.
no doubt
Did you-
that, with the rehabilitation of these apartments, that we will be able to fully bring families back into this community and continue to support the additional affordable housing need in the city of St. Louis and in this neighborhood.
Very good. All right. Is there anything else in this resolution? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to approve Resolution 25 LCRA 10-945.
So move, Spencer.
Second?
Properly moved and seconded. May we have a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Evans,
Aye.
Commissioner Spencer,
Aye.
Chair McBride.
Aye.
Motion passes with all voting yes.
Thank you. And good luck to developers.
Thank you so much.
We'll take up Resolution 25 LCRA 10-946 relating to St. Louis Place and Old North scattered sites. Zach, can you walk us through that, please?
Yeah, FET will not be going very far. She is the developer on this resolution also. This resolution is declaring St. Louis Place and Old North scattered sites area to be blighted and approving blighting study and plan for the St. Louis Place and Old North scattered sites area, Within that plan, we'll allow for 15 years of tax abatement, 10 at 90, followed by 5 at 50. The total scattered sites add up to be about a little over 1.86 acres in those two neighborhoods. It's 15 buildings, and it comes out to about 68 affordable units. There is a typo on the background of the resolution. It's 15 buildings. The rest of the buildings after the rest of the numbers after that is a print code. So please don't try to make copies here at SLDC with that code. Moving forward, just a heads up, the returns to the cities and school district are not as high as other projects over the 10 and 15-year marks, but that we are trading off those revenues for allowing to create affordable housing, and we see that as an asset to the city. Also, within these projects, they're all large number of apartment bedrooms, 3, 4, and 5 bedrooms, especially on this one, and 3 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms on the last resolution. All those are key to the St. Louis Public Schools to drawing school-age students to the district. Something we definitely need funding for state funding to reimbursement on those fronts. So this project is a huge asset on many different levels: affordable housing, school-age children, and provide quality housing. So I'll let Paul take over, and Yefet will speak after that, please.
Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, if we could just go to the community benefits scorecard. I think Zach covered that pretty well. This project scored an 89 on the community benefits scorecard, making it eligible for tier 3 level of benefits, which, as you know, is 25 years total, 10 years at 90, 15 years at 50. But since it is a LIHTC project, we modeled and are recommending the 15 years of tax abatement, 10 years at 90, 5 years at 50. All of the units in this development are affordable at 60% AMI, awarding at 40 points. The parcels are all located within Economic Justice Index Area 1. All these structures are at least 50 years old. Most of them are over 100 years old at this point. The sort of goals of this redevelopment align with the stated recommendations in a plan for the neighborhoods of the 5th Ward. So it received 5 points for alignment with neighborhood plans. It received 4 points for the total capital investment of just over $18 million. This is located within, or the preponderance of the parcels are located within a quarter mile of a bus stop, awarding 3 points. And again, this project is utilizing LIHTC, giving it a final 2 points there.
Very good. Thank you, Paul. Any questions for Paul on the community benefit scorecard? Hearing none, let's take a look at the fiscal report.
Again, the real estate program, 67 apartments. There are 68 units in total. One is being converted to being used as an office by the management or for the management of the properties. It's a mix of unit sizes ranging from 1 bedroom all the way up to 5 bedroom, which is a boon to the school district and the city in retaining and attracting families, as Zach mentioned. The market average rate of return that we calculated was 7% on the low end, 9% on the high end. Our projected 10-year rate of return is at 7.7% with and without incentives. And again, we modeled 10 years at 90 and 5 years at 50% tax abatement. And you can see the projected net new revenue to the city and the school district over 10 and 20-year period. And then we calculated the net present value of the tax incentive after 10 years at just over $106,000, which is 0.6% of the total project costs. We can go to the next slide. We can take a look at the, maybe we don't want to look at the chart quite yet. But you can see the projected impacts to the revenue impacts to the city and the school district. And I'd be happy to answer any questions about the community benefits or fiscal analysis that we conducted.
Yeah, I mean, I know that Zach sensitizes to the issue that the benefits are going to be a little lower because of this. And so could you just kind of give us how the interplay of the numbers provide such a vastly different net new revenue to the school district from this project as opposed to like the prior project?
Yeah, I think a lot of that is the initial sort of assessed valuation of the parcels. The parcels that are in the Tiffany project that you heard before sort of derive a benefit from the neighborhood that they're located in, the amenities that they're close to, sort of just the general socioeconomic conditions. Whereas this project in split between St. Louis Place and Old North doesn't mirror the economic conditions that Tiffany neighborhood has. A lot of the parcels surrounding these are completely vacant. There are some where this is, there are some blocks where these units are the only buildings on that block. So it's the assessed value in that area is depressed when you, especially in comparison to the previous project. I would say that's the makes up the lion's share of the difference. There's also just general, different project costs associated with each development. So.
Very good. Any questions from Paul? For Paul? Commissioner Spencer.
Maybe a couple of comments and a question. I actually love these two projects, especially coming back to back, because you're looking at an area of opportunity close to jobs, transportation, and a need for affordability in the Tiffany neighborhood. And now we're looking at St. Louis Place and Old North, where we know we need to save more of our historic infrastructure and historic buildings. So I really love the fact that these investments are getting made in both places because they're both needed. One of the questions that I had a couple of months ago was the way that we are looking at our incentive models with the 10 and 5. Has there been any more thought to looking at, blending that and maybe lower on the 10 side and just making that pro forma look a little better throughout that 15-year compliance period?
I might turn that one over to Zach. I know we've discussed it, especially for these affordable housing projects to kind of help them later in the life of the project. But I don't know if we are at the point where we are ready to make sort of wholesale changes. I don't know if you have thoughts, Zach.
No, we're open to it very much so. We kind of need to build a coalition of life tech developers to kind of go to make that case with us to the Board of Aldermen, because it's that second 5-year piece that to increase it to 5 at 75 or 5 at whatever we're looking at. No, we're listening. It's not just this project, but other projects, the Rises of the world, DeSales, they all have made comments about maybe doing 15 years at 75 or some along those lines to help make spread out that savings. So we're open to it. It's just we have to present that to the Board of Aldermen to allow that to happen, make those changes.
Everybody's been busy these last several months. It's just something that seems to make pretty good sense and probably something we want to try to sort out. But Yeah, and congratulations on getting 2 awards at 9%. And this, I mean, this is yeah, it's wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, any other questions from either the staff or the developers on this resolution?
I would make a
Hearing none.
comment, and thank you to Commissioner Spencer for the compliment. I will say that as there was an earlier question about ownership, this portfolio too was also acquired from the same out-of-state investor. I do appreciate Mr. Weatherford highlighting some of the challenges. The Old North is a beautiful and a very diverse community. However, these properties also are scattered amongst more than 8 blocks. So it can make it very difficult for the continuity and for management, which is why we took one of the apartments offline to make chaperone services for residents development. So it's our intentions to have management on site to further help stabilize the need of affordability in the Old North community, but to also bring value, to that community and working with the neighborhood as well. The last comment that I would make relevant to, blending the tax credits. When we deal with LIHTC properties, we are at a very slim margin for operational expenses for the developments, and particularly these developments are for people at 30% AMI. So, and you heard 4 and 5 bedroom units. So these are extremely rare apartments now, because you do not see LIHTC units at 5 bedrooms anymore, and very few 4 bedrooms, which also make for additional expenses on the operation side. If you can imagine, most of these units are single-headed household people with multiple children. So it makes management more expensive because we're in the units more often, ensuring that they are kept up and doing more maintenance there. So to lower the tax abatement, particularly as the years go further, could continue to make it more difficult for more developers to continue to do these types of developments, which is why we're coming before the commission today, to ask for the credits, because they really are needed. The abatement, they really are needed to help us, stay in the black on the operational side, and to adequately manage these units, and to make sure that they're kept up and that they're an asset to the community.
Zach, I would just take that recording and play it in front of every alderperson and ask them why not.
Yes, and we also have a school board that would like to have an input
I
on this.
agree.
I do want to add one more thing. This development, it is by 2 schools, Ames School as well as Confluence Academy. So one of the things that we felt to be very positive is that this could also create opportunities for children to go in schools in the neighborhood that they live in. So as that relates to St. Louis Public Schools, we're trying to help bring families back and children back, so we don't have to continue to close schools. And these homes will provide neighborhood school opportunities.
Very good. Unless there's anything else from the commissioners, I would entertain a motion to approve Resolution 25 LCRA 10946.
So moved.
Second, Spencer.
Properly moved and seconded. May we have a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Evans,
Aye.
Commissioner Spencer,
Aye.
and Chair McBride.
Aye.
Motion passes with all voting yes.
Very good, and
Thank
good
you
luck
so
on this
much.
development as well. We'll now take up Resolution 25 LCRA 10947 relating to an easement over 3665 Cook. Sanetta, are you walking us through that?
Danetta is not, but I am
I
Sonetta
say,
today.
I thought she might be in the room, but she's not. My eyesight's very poor. I can just see Otis.
Otis or Dale, one of the two. But no, it's this is just authorizing an easement of about 11 square feet along at 3665 Cook Avenue, which LCRA currently owns. It's part of the Great Rivers Greenway Phase 2, which will link will go down North Spring to Lindell. So this will just allow them to have this 11 square feet along this parcel.
And are
Sorry,
they
I
gonna
can't
carry
do
that
much
up?
more on that one. I apologize.
Yeah, but are they carrying up that easement on both uh on both directions, both north and south there?
Yes, it's along the
Wait, this is just a construction easement. I'm sorry. This is just
yes,
construction easement. So it's just temporary until it's built. Okay.
correct.
No, I think that makes good sense. Any questions for Zach on this? Hearing none, entertain a motion to approve resolution 25 LCRA 10947.
So moved, request a previous rule.
Do we have a second?
Second, sorry.
It's all right. Moved and seconded with the previous roll requested. Is there any objection to that request? Hearing none, the motion passes and the resolution is approved. All right, and now we'll take up the executive session, a motion at this time, entertain a motion to go into executive session. Which section are we relying upon for this?
The
Spending.
610-021 subsections 2 and 12.
I would entertain such a motion.
Second. They're so moved.
Seconded.
So moved and seconded. And we'll need a roll call for this.
Commissioner Evans,
Aye.
Commissioner Spencer,
Aye.
Chair McBride.
Aye.
Motion passes with all voting yes.
Thank you. This time we'll go into executive session. We will return an open session. Also, we'll take up the scintillating agendas for the LCRA Revitalization Corporation, LCRA Holdings 2, and as many exclamation marks as you can append and all that as well. So thank you all, and we will now go into executive session. Okay, can everyone hear me? All right. Then we're back in open session. Is there anything else before the Land Clearance Redevelopment Authorities?
No, sir.
All right, then at this time, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. We have completed our business and we are adjourned.